Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Um, I bring my screen to not gallery, and I would not the speaker wheel. I would suggest you to do that. Bring it to gallery wheel so you can see everybody. So today, our table topic, we will use our theme, prepare for your next step. I remember when I first moved to North America, that was about 20 years ago. And I was quite young at the time. I won't tell my age, but I decided to go to school. One thing is my English is not that good. And secondly, I feel that I need to have this buffer from the school before I go to work for somebody. So I decided to do that. And then at school, I not only did my master degree, but in that 1.5 years, I also learned how to drive, how to find a job, how to communicate with people in English, my not my first language, and also um, how to see how the North America looks like. So it's all brand new. And even though I didn't really plan for all the steps, but eventually everything fall into a, a good way. I would say so. So I'm thinking if I prepare better, maybe I will have less um, trouble or maybe less, how to say that, that I didn't go too much turns and then up and downs, maybe. So that's why I really like our theme today. And when I ask for volunteers, when I ask the question, you can think it could be applied to your career, or it could apply to your life, because we all human being and we all in different stage in our life. You could be thinking about having a baby, maybe get married, maybe find a new job, maybe retire or something, or get promotion, or move on to a different place, or maybe go to a completely different career. So it could be anything like that is very important to you. So without further ado, um, I have 7 questions, and you can, when you start volunteer, you can decide which number of the questions you want to speak about, and then I will bring the question. I will repeat twice, and then you can start. And our Madam Timer will catch time. So you have 1 to 2 minutes uh, speech. So past 2 minutes, then am I right? 2.5 minutes, then you are disqualified. All right. So who wants to be the first volunteer? Okay. Thank you, Luis. All right. So which number you want to pick?
Number 5.
Okay. Interesting. So number 5, imagine you are in the same elevator with your CEO. What you want to tell him during that elevator ride? Imagine you are in the same elevator with your CEO. During that time, what you will tell him.
Thank you very much for the topic master. And I tell you what, that was very interesting question altogether, because these are the things that I kind to take the time and pride to carry the right feedback to those that are over me, and especially when I'm at work. Now, being in a tight place where a person in a higher position, I started understanding that it's not about fear, but about creating relationships. I just had a good conversation with somebody that's going to be a future CEO for what I do, and In the conversation, we did not talk about business. We talked about life, getting to know each other. At the very end of that conversation, I started understanding that the experience that we were receiving was only about a strong relationship to move forward their goals. I received a good evaluation of what I was speaking to them with a heart touching expression, and he asked the same for me. So it was very productive. I gave him the right feedback and he shared it with me. This way I could become a better follower of his family. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. And in 1 minute, yeah, I mean, you come up with this in such a short time. It's really good. All right. My next speaker, who wants to be the volunteer? Ola. So which number you want to pick? 5 is out.
I'll pick number 1.
Okay. All right. So number 1, how can you tell you need to prepare for your next step? How can you tell you need to prepare for your next step?
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. How can I prepare? How can I know if I need to prepare for my next step? I think life is a preparation. Each day is an opportunity to be better for the opportunities of the next day. Each day is an opportunity to learn new things, to prepare, to be better, and enjoy the blessings that will come the next time. So I believe I need to be preparing. And when I'm not preparing, I know I'm wasting time. You can view life as a sport, as a competition. All of us are going to be exposed to the next 24 hours with similar opportunities. And the people that will make inroad and success are the people that are most prepared. Recently, I started reading about business, and I just discovered that all these people that have gone ahead and have done well in business is because they are well prepared in that area. And there are many areas in life. So we have to choose the areas that we'll prepare on because we can't do everything. So what I do is I ask myself, which area should I prepare in? And that is a daily struggle to maximize my time, to make sure I'm doing the right thing based on my skill set, based on my vision, based on my dreams, such that my tomorrow I could say I'm taking advantage of the opportunity. So that is my answer to that question. How do I prepare for the next step? Thank you.
Thank you, Ola. Okay, my next volunteer, I'm going to pick someone maybe from the guest. All right, Cassie. Oh, Carol, great. Carol, do you want to give a try? Okay, you are muted.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
so thank you. So which number you want to pick? 1 to 7, but we don't have 1 and 5 anymore.
I'll have 3.
Okay, thank you. Number 3, how do you present your unique experience, skills, and personal attributes to an employer? How do you present your unique experience, skills, and personal attributes to an employer?
Well, I am a good speaker, and when I have been interviewed by an employer, I have a tendency to use humor, and I have a tendency to respect the involvement that I have with the interviewer, but I also like to give the impression that I am interviewing them as well as they are interviewing me. I have been an interviewer in times when the person was maintained themselves in a similar, like a servile position. That was not the kind of person that I wanted to hire. I want somebody personable. So I would try to relate always with the individual that was interviewing me, and we would discuss our common experiences. I think Ola had mentioned that, some of the common experiences that you have, and you can then relate to the person on an individual basis. And then I would be able to explain my experience, my skill, how I could help the company, and then what I could do for them. That was always the approach that I took, and it was successful in my life. I'm glad I don't have to go for many more interviews, though. I'm done with that. I'm retired. But thank you very much for your question, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you for all the tips. I think that's really helpful for people who think about when they are going to facing an interview with an employer. Okay, my next speaker, I'm going to pick another guest. If you don't volunteer, I'm going to call out your name. Yolanda, do you want to try?
I think I can overcome my shyness to answer a question if you would like, Madam
Okay.
Tabletop. That wasn't meant to be funny, but okay.
Okay. All right. So 1 to 7, we already have 1, 3, and 5 out. So what's the number you want to pick?
2.
Okay, number 2.
Mhm.
How do you need to practice or polish to be your best professional self? How do you practice or polish to be your best professional self?
Thank you very much, Madam Table Topics Master. It's no coincidence that I picked this particular question because I am a recruiter for Shell where I work, and I get asked that question quite a bit. What is it that Shell wants to see? What is it that I need to do to be the best version of myself, is what they say. And I equate that to how can I be the best version of my professional self, or what it is that a company wants to see. And how do you practice that? I believe that there are things that we can do to make sure that we are representing ourselves in a professional way. But for the most part, I think that companies and corporations and people just want to see you. They want to see your authentic self. They want to see you in the best possible light that you can be in. I think that those two go hand in hand. Therefore, Madam Table Topics Master, if I had to answer that question, especially when it comes to me, I don't push to be the most professional I can be. I push to be the most like Yolanda that I can be. Professionalism, I think, comes naturally and automatically when I am my absolute best version of myself. And in that way, you don't really need practice. All you need to do is use the awesome skills that Toastmaster has given you. Professionalism comes on its own. And I'm just unapologetically me. That doesn't require any sort of practice. That's what I would say to anybody that had to ask. Don't practice. Be yourself. Use what Toastmaster has given you, and you'll do the absolute best job that you can. Back over to you.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you
You're
for the
very welcome.
answer. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Um, Mr. Toastmaster, do I have time for other speakers?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Last one, but not least. Any volunteer? If not, I'm going to pick someone. No? Luz. Oh, Pavisha, you want to try? Sorry. All right, Pavisha, we have 1, 2, 3, and 5 already picked. So you have 4 and 7 left. So which number you want to, and the number 6 too.
Go with 6, please.
Number 6, sure. Um, all right. How do you show you are ready for the next steps in your career? How do you show you are ready for the next step in your career?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. How do I show that I'm ready for next steps in my career is by demonstrating the accomplishments of my current projects. I would start off there. And more recently, I've been very intrigued by it has shifted my perspective that as women, I've always, as women, I think, we build a lot of confidence by knowing what you do inside out, where I felt like mastery of a certain role is something, when I master something, that's when I'm ready for the next step. But more recently in leadership, I'm seeing that if you want to advance in your career, and if you are in a leadership position where you're taking responsibility to grow other people, it's not necessarily mastery of a certain role, and the skills that you probably demonstrated in the past are not the skills that will take you, that are not necessarily the same skills that will take you to the next step. So you can be an awesome performer in a specific job in your current role, but that does not necessarily work for you if you're getting ready for the next step. So you have to constantly seek opportunities to improve, shine, and better prepare as opportunities are presented to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pavitra. So that's conclude our table topic